This podcast is brought to you by Ideate and Execute. Do you want to drive innovation in your organization, futurize your enterprise, ideate massively valuable new products, or execute them to market? Then contact us today at ideateandexecute.com and get started.
Why listen to the past when you can listen to the future? Welcome to the Think Future podcast, broadcasting from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We focus on innovation, startups, and the future, not necessarily those and not necessarily in that order. Here's your host.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Think Future. My name's Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future, not necessarily those, and not necessarily in that order. If you're watching on YouTube, smack that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when a new show comes online. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast service, please subscribe and please drop a note on Apple Podcasts. I'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about survival. We were talking about what would happen if we were sort of deposited in the middle of nowhere with no resources whatsoever. We were talking about the show Naked and Afraid. And what would happen if we were just thrown out in the middle of nowhere? How long could we possibly survive? Because we're both civilized men, and we live in a civilization. And I don't know about you, but I didn't do any Boy Scout training or anything like that. But I do remember some survivalist kind of training that I did back in early elementary school, where we went to a little forest beside the school and learned how to start fires and cook eggs on the bottom of a can and stuff like that. And I thought to myself, that's an interesting statement, right? Because right now we live in a world where we're so surrounded by so much technology. And we have an education system that tries to teach us how to survive without that technology, even though that technology is kind of a given. So I'm saying the education system probably needs to change to assume that these things are a given. But at the same time, what skill would you need in order to survive in that world? And if in that, not just in that world, but in any world. So it made me start thinking about something that I've always thought is the most important skill that anyone can have. And when you think about it, when you go to put your resume together, you do a list of skills, right? You know how to program in this software language, you know how to use this tool, you know how to do this, you know how to do that, you've done all these things, blah, 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 blah. But really, at the bottom of it all, the most important skill that anyone can have is problem solving, is the ability to look at a problem, whatever the problem is, it comes at you in whatever domain it is, and be able to develop a solution to that problem. It may not be a full solution, but it could be a workaround, whatever. It's the ability to have something come at you, whatever it is, some issue, some problem that needs to be resolved. And you, using your skill in problem solving, figuring out what you need to do in order to solve the problem. What do you need to learn? What tools do you need to have? What other skills do you need to have? Problem solving, defining the problem, understanding the problem, framing the problem, then developing solutions for the problem. If you ask me, that is the number one skill that people need to have, and it should be transferable across all domains. It doesn't matter whether you're a software developer, a product manager, a startup founder, a corporate innovator, whoever you are. That is the base skill that everyone needs to have. Because if you think about it, throw me out into the wilderness. If I have problem solving skills, I'd be able to somehow learn how to survive. If you put me in a new job where I don't really know what's going on, I use my problem-solving skills to figure out how to work it. See, this is the thing I think is a big problem with talent acquisition, is that you have people looking for, and this is one of the reasons why I think there's such a huge gap between the people who are looking for workers and they're saying we can't find any qualified workers, and the workers out there going, we're qualified, you just won't give us a chance. Because there's a disconnect between what's on their resume, what they know, how they can do things, and what the job description is looking for. If we went back to first principles and said, listen, these are the things I'm looking for. They're all optional if you can come into a situation and learn quickly. Use your problem-solving skills to be able to learn what you need to learn in order to excel in this role. I mean, if you think about it, nobody can move from one company to another without any kind of training, without any kind of time to assimilate new skills, new terminology, new lingo, new relationships in order to do well in a job. There's no such thing as a perfect fit. And if you ask me, most human beings are able to fit into almost any environment, because one of the things that human beings have is that we all are born problem solvers. How do you think we learn? We have things presented to us and we have to try and figure them out. And some of us have suppressed this when we get older, saying, oh, I already know things, I don't need to learn anything else. But the ability to learn, the ability to expand, the ability to problem solve is within all of us. It was an original, intuitive thing that human beings can do from the moment they're born. We have problem-solving skills. We all have problem-solving skills. We can all grow and learn to come into whatever position we want. That's why some people say, well, we can't reskill these people. Of course we can reskill these people. People have the ability to do these things. Every human being on the planet has the problem-solving skill gene. It just needs to be brought out. Everyone has the capacity to learn, no matter who you are, no matter how young you are, no matter how old you are. It's you making the decision that you are open to be able to learn new things. That's why I say, some people say to me, what are you going to do when you retire? What are you going to do when you retire? I'm like, I'm going to continue learning. I'm going to continue growing. I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to continue expanding my base of knowledge. I'm going to continue doing shows. I'm going to continue doing all this stuff. There's no such thing as a retirement nowadays. You just continue to learn. You continue to grow. You continue to problem solve and learn how to solve problems in new ways. This is what keeps your brain firing. This is what keeps your neurons going. Like I said, problem-solving skills are the number one skill that anyone needs to have. And I think all human beings are born with those skills. They're sometimes sublimated. But if you ask me, anyone who has excellent problem-solving skills can continue to hone those skills. And if you take someone with good problem-solving skills, they can do almost anything. You can give them anything to do and a little bit of time, and they'll be able to figure it out. So hone your problem-solving skills. And if you ask me, recruiters, put it on the job description. Problem-solving skills. Excellent problem-solving skills is what you should have in every possible position. Because if you get somebody with excellent problem-solving skills, they're pretty much a fit for any role. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.